I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, them. And I'ma tell them where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state. And of course, as always, I'm upset. Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome. Tonight, we I got a day to, rest the vocal cords, to kind of better consume what went down last night, and to come with some better information. You know what I mean? We got our first guest is Ryan. By the way, I dropped the link in the comment section. Anybody is welcome tonight if you want to come up, celebrate Michigan's victory. Ryan, what's going on, man?
I was waking up hoping it was a dream. It's not.
It's definitely not a dream. This is very real. By the way, just some things that we need to get out the way. Michigan had 5 sacks in the first half, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Not just did they have 5 sacks in the first half. In Jaden Milroe's first 6 dropbacks, he was sacked 4 times. 4 times in his first 6 dropbacks, 5 times in the first half. All right, that's just one of the stats. Then Michigan, of course, had the muffed punt in the first half, which led to Alabama's first touchdown, their only touchdown in the first half. Michigan missed a field goal. The special teams for Michigan was awful. By the way, the special teams for Alabama were fantastic. The kicker, I don't think he would have missed from 70 yards. He was like that good last night.
Somebody's gonna draft Will Reichard in the NFL draft.
Absolutely. And they should. They should.
Maybe the Raiders.
Well, that's a whole
you guys do love your special teams.
We do. But he was fantastic. Their punter was fantastic. They punted the ball, and the field goal kicker was on fire. Meanwhile, our punter had his worst game of the season. Our kicker, we missed the extra point. Actually, it was just snapped past the holder. Extra point, then he misses a field goal that wasn't necessarily too crazy. I think it was like 30-something yards, maybe 40 yards, 44 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
He misses that.
You guys missed Jake Moody, right?
Man, do we ever miss Jake Moody? By the way, make sure you smash that like button. Share this. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Last night was a wonderful night for Michigan football. Finally getting out of the first round of the college football playoff, beating Nick Saban, the GOAT, and Alabama. I will be the first to say this wasn't one of Nick Saban's best teams. However, they were the team in front of us, and we got them out the way. Before I get going, Ryan, what were your takeaways from the game last night?
I thought it was kind of an evenly fought matchup between both teams, offensively and defensively. It seemed like it was like quarter by quarter that, the first quarter, like the first, especially the first half of the first quarter, you thought, especially when that looked like an interception on the first play of the drive, you're like, oh, here we go. And then Michigan kind of comes back and you're like, all right, cool, we got a game. Then Michigan kind of takes over in the second quarter. And you're thinking, all right, maybe is Bama going to do anything? And then they come out in the third quarter, and I believe they held Michigan to 24 total yards in that third quarter.
Yeah, an excellent third quarter, actually. Yeah.
And then that fourth quarter, it was like, I can't even remember what happened, but it was either Michigan got like a had like a terrible punt or something like that. I can't remember. And Milrow was on the 50, and Bama was, I believe they were up. Were they up 4
Yeah,
at that point?
17-13.
Yeah, 17-13. And you're thinking, all right, if Bama scores a touchdown here, just because of how inept Michigan's offense was in that third quarter, you're thinking, all right, this is the put away drive. And the turning point of the game to me was when Milrow made that fumble. Even though Michigan didn't do anything, didn't they go 3-and-out after the fumble?
Definitely. We
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
it right back.
So even though they didn't do anything with it, I think that fumble gave Michigan confidence going forward in the rest of that quarter. And man, you weren't there, but when we were watching the game live, that 4th and 3, I believe at Michigan's own 30,
Mm-hmm.
and Harbaugh goes for it, and you guys had all 3 timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Lucas were like, dude, I don't know if you go for this, because if you don't get it, Bama's already up a touchdown. They kick a field goal. Game's basically over at that point. Why not
Yep.
punt? And of course, Harbaugh looks like a genius because I believe it was the same play call that they had on the 3rd and short too, to Corum. But they didn't get it. Was it tipped? Yeah, it was tipped because JJ threw it to the tight end instead of Corum. But yeah, looking back on that now, if Harbaugh doesn't get that, he's probably criticized up the butt for that call. But since he gets it, genius call. And then obviously you have at the end where Tommy Rees, what do you know, Bama fans? We tried warning you. That's Tommy Rees.
This isn't. I don't think this is your line right now. Tommy Rees turned the team around.
No. The thing is, Tommy Rees calls good games, but he always has like that 3 or 4 play calls in a game where you're just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like he was good at Notre Dame, but there were times where the offense is humming, and you just call some dumb shit. But yeah, credit to Michigan. You guys actually got out of the first round. You guys get Washington next up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think the turning point very well could have been what you said, right? Could have been that fumble. By the way, I was saying we needed a turnover in that moment. We got it. We did nothing with it, but I think the stand to keep them out of the end zone when they got it back after we went 3-and-out, and they were forced to kick a field goal. I think that was the most important, and that really galvanized, the offense too. That one I thought was the most important, because if they get a touchdown there, it's going to be real bad for Michigan, and him going forward on 4th down is a moot point at that point. But I think I spoke about this last night. Going forward on 4th down, huge balls by Jim Harbaugh, huge balls in that situation.
If you guys didn't get it, would you be bashing him for that call?
Bash? I don't know if I bash him. I think because in that moment I said go for it, right? Like at home watching it, I'm like, yo, go for it, right? And then he goes for it. But I did know the situation. We did have 3 timeouts. We could have kicked it and played, the timeout and time game and tried to get the ball back. But I think so one thing that I think that they don't get enough credit for, these guys didn't get enough credit for last night. And even though some of the play calls were kind of wacky and I wouldn't have called it, especially during the times that they called some of them, but they were very like definitive on like the 3rd down and shorts, the 4th downs, even like they knew what they were gonna do. And in that situation, that call, like it's like they knew it was gonna be there if they could, complete the pass. You know what I mean? And it was called specifically for that. It was like not really another read there. It was, to JJ in that flat because of the eye candy we're doing over here with the motion and the way that the play looks like it's going. He's going to be open. We know it, right? And I feel like that sort of confidence is what guided them in the play calling last night. Let me get to some of the comments really quickly. Shout out to everybody in here. in the live. By the way, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. My guy Twan is in here. Tommy does the Franklin. Damn it. Michigan set up perfect for Washington. Will built for Washington because Washington's just like OSU in 2021.
The difference is Kalen DeVore is not Ryan Day.
I'd rather go out on my own terms with destiny in my hands. OSU had 3 pro wide receivers then, plus CJ Stroud. That's a fact. Justin, I hope so. Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah, but we know Ryan Day's a fraud.
Well, Ryan Day is a professional third baseman. But in terms of like the team makeup on offense, especially, I think they do resemble that team. They got a better offensive line, though.
Yeah,
In
Penix
fact,
didn't get sacked one time last night. That's crazy.
I do know that. And they are the Joe Moore Award winners for this season, so they have the best offensive line in the country. Michigan, though, obviously can create some pressure as we saw last night, and I think Alabama's line across the board like weighs more on average than like an NFL line. It's something crazy like that. Like on average, that offensive line for Bama last night weighs more than like the average NFL offensive line. Some crazy stat like that. But either way, I think Michigan is built to beat a team like this because I don't think they'll be able to stop our run game. They won't be able to stop Blake Corum. I think they were ranked like 120th or something like that in run.
Yeah, they're a terrible run defense. Their pass defense is actually pretty decent, but their run defense is atrocious.
Yeah. So I think they'll have a hard time stopping the run. And if I had to bet on one of these teams getting a stop, then give me the best scoring defense in the nation and the second best total defense in the nation to get a stop. But that's just how I feel about that game. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I don't think this is by far and away going to be the best offense Michigan's defense has faced all year. And I don't think it's necessarily close. I think it's going to be tough. And I think what, like me and Lucas talked about this last night, what makes Washington so difficult to defend is they don't have just one guy. They don't have just two guys. They got 3 guys at receiver that all play at an elite level that when they put them on a crossing route or they put them on a mesh concept or a slant, Will Johnson, he can lock up Odunze. But what are the other 2 guys going to do? Because you got to worry about McMillan, you got Polk, and that's what kind of worries me a little bit is also because Penix, like it's different teams, but Penix has had, he's played Michigan, like 3 times in his career? I believe.
He's 0-2 against Michigan.
Yeah, and I think the last time they put out a thing today that the last time Penix played Michigan in 2021 he threw for 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Penix has familiarity with at least what kind of defense Michigan wants to run. I don't think Washington's going to stop Michigan, but I think with how explosive their offense is, I don't think they have to stop Michigan. If they could get 1 or 2 stops on Michigan, I think that I don't know if Michigan can keep up offensively with Washington. It's kind of like what people said earlier in the year with USC is like, they're going to score 50 points a game and they're going to give up 50 points a game. But if they could just get 1 stop, nobody's going to outscore them. And that's where I'm kind of at, is I'm not 100% sure that Michigan's offense is built to get in a track meet with Washington. Now, I think what Michigan needs to do in this game is they need to get, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, when they flip the coin, I want the ball first because I want to set the tone. I want to keep Washington's offense off the field, and I think you got to set the pace. And that's the one thing that Harbaugh and Michigan does well is they don't play to other teams' styles. They play to their style, and they make you play their style of game. If that happens, then I think Michigan wins. But if Washington turns this into a track meet, I think that gives the edge to Washington.
Well, the only shot that Washington does have is if it's a track meet. But secondly, and more importantly, even if it's a track meet, we're talking about the better defense. We have the much better defense, like by a mile better defense. And I trust that Michigan can get a stop before Washington gets a stop. Also, let's not
Yeah.
act like Washington didn't score 15 points against Arizona State. Like, it's not like they went out here and dropped 60 a night or 50 a night or 40 a night. In fact, how many times did they even reach 40? I think in the first 4 games is the only time they reached 40. Maybe again against later in the season they scored.
They did it. I know they dropped 40 on USC, I think Stanford.
Right.
But also to that point, like Oregon, I feel like Oregon has a better, more explosive offense than Michigan. And Washington, the reason they won those 2 games against Oregon is they made stops when it mattered. Same thing with Texas. Like we just saw them. Texas was on a comeback and they flat out stopped Texas when it mattered the most. That's the thing, is like obviously Michigan's got the better
Ewers
defense.
played like trash in the game, first of all, and their offense isn't the same as Michigan's. They're not trying to set up the pass behind the run like Michigan is.
And if they had Jonathan Brooks, that game probably is different. Because remember, Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL earlier in the year.
And they just lost the running back too. He was carted off the field. I'm not worried. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not worried. I don't want to act like Washington isn't a factor. They are, and of course they can score with the best of them. But I'm not really. I don't think it's gonna be
besides Georgia and in the last 2 years, right?
Right.
The teams that have won a national championship, in thinking like 2019 LSU, 2020 Bama, 2018 Clemson was also like that. Like those teams, what all those teams had in common is they had elite receivers and an elite level quarterback. And I think Washington is the closest team in terms of just offensive firepower that we've seen since maybe 2019 LSU.
I mean, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. You're giving them a lot of praise. I'm not trying to downplay what they do. I think they have an amazing offense. I like their coach. I like Penix. But we're talking, it's levels to this thing, and I got to give them credit for beating Texas, and they are in the national championship game, so they have to be taken serious. But at the same time, I just think that they haven't seen a Michigan defense or a defense like Michigan this season. There's nobody on their schedule that was like us.
But you could also say Michigan hasn't faced an offense like this all season either.
Well, we faced the other state. They told us,
but Kyle McCord isn't Michael Penix.
Well, careful how you talk about the Honda McCord. But we were told that they were the world's greatest offense in the preseason. They had.
We saw that they weren't. That wasn't true after the first couple games. We knew that wasn't true.
They did have the best wide receiver in all of college football. And he's a difference maker.
Yeah,
you saw what he did to us. He still caught like 100 yards worth of balls, a touchdown. He's different. Now, granted, Will wasn't 100%. Will was 100% in this game, and you saw what happened. 33 snaps, 2 targets, 0 receptions for the best corner in all of college football.
But yeah, Ohio State's second best guy isn't.
Pick him. Come on.
What, Ibuka? Ibuka is not better than Jalen Polk or McMillan.
Do OSU lose? They did. All the offense. I mean, I get it, man. I understand.
I've also been really high on this Washington team since like earlier in the year. I think I picked them and Oregon in the Pac-12 title, so that I got that right. But I thought Oregon would beat them both times, and you knew what's crazy is Oregon. I still think Oregon has a better roster than
I mean, maybe so,
Washington.
but that doesn't really matter, man. It doesn't
No, no,
matter.
I
Like,
think I do. I think Oregon has a better roster, but the thing is, Washington just found ways to win those games.
sure. I mean, that's really all that matters in the end. Your roster can be whatever it is. Alabama has 4 and 5 stars littered all throughout that roster. You'd be hard pressed to find anything less than a 4-star on their roster. And they lost 2 games this season to
Yeah.
non-conference opponents. So there's that. Um F the SEC facts.
So we got
What?
a
No
battle
SEC
between
fans?
between two Big Ten teams in this championship
Oregon
game.
has a Franklin Ford coach. Dan Lanning. I don't know, man. Dan Lanning's a little better than James Franklin, but he's not. He does make some questionable decisions. I will give you that. Dan Lanning's decision making needs to improve. But you're right. This really could have come down to uh 2 SEC teams, 2 Big Ten teams. That's really what it came down to in this playoff. And Michigan and Washington coming through, beating the SEC in both situations,
The
or
Big Ten's
future
claiming
SEC.
this, right? Like,
Absolutely.
no matter who wins, the Big Ten's gonna claim this shit.
Absolutely. This is 100% Big Ten championship. Now Michigan's gonna win it, but it doesn't really matter. But 100%. I wanted to speak a little bit about Blake Corum, who is quickly becoming a lot of people's favorite Michigan player of all time. He is now the all-time leading rushing touchdown. He is the all-time leading rushing touchdown leader for Michigan. He made the game-winning touchdown last night, a play that, as I pointed out last night, looked a lot like the play he made after Zach Zinter went out against Ohio State. It looked like the same play call, same Blake Corum shiftiness. And I will say in the last part of the season, sans the Iowa game, because nothing looked great in that game, if I'm being honest. But the Ohio State game, in this game, Blake Corum looked to have some of that explosiveness back from last season. Some of that was lacking up until this point of the season. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely looking like the return to form of what he was last year. Dude, you know how many times I was watching that game? Hey, how big is Blake Corum?
He can't be any bigger than 5'8", and that may
Because
be
he
just
must be hiding behind that offensive line when he like does those flat routes and shit. Like, because I've seen it all year. Somehow, some way, teams just happen to lose sight of Blake Corum out of the backfield, like on those passes. Like, I'm saying,
killer.
like, how do you lose the best player on the field for
Pause.
Michigan? Like,
Right.
how do you lose? How do you lose him? Like, Michigan's just got some magic to where he's open on every single play.
Nah, he and he's not usually like the pass catching back. So when he's in like in passing situations, I just feel like he does get like lost in the shuffle a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he is smaller than a lot of backs. He can get lost behind that offensive line and those bigger guys. But the jump cut, I think somebody pointed that
Oh yeah,
out.
that
I
jump
saw
cut's
that somewhere.
nasty.
Jump cut was disgusting. Shout out to Music for Me. That was nasty work. But it was. I think he made a play last year, a run last year against Iowa. In Iowa, that was just way nastier than even that, where he like was damn near on the ground and made a cut. It was
Dude, that
disgusting.
one he did against Michigan State, where
Yeah,
he about broke the second tackle last year. Dude, that
yeah.
was nasty.
We got another. My guy, what's good, man? getting
You
drunk.
good, Buckeye Garrison, bro?
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
up?
Garrison, man, don't send an elephant to do a husky's job.
Wait,
First of all,
one second. I haven't been able to do this yet. I've been trying to make my rounds on this. Phil, congratulations.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Congratulations, man.
You know what? We appreciate that here. Shout out to Mello too, who begrudgingly gave us some credit too, but we get it. We understand it. We
how much
appreciate it.
does it pain you to say that, Garrison?
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, most of my friends are Michigan fans. Okay, I live in the state, born and raised.
That's tough. That's tough.
Not really. Most of my life has been awesome. But over these last few years, yeah. But I mean, listen. Like my friend Bryce, I do my show with. Like my friend Lost is my best friend. My friend Anthony.
The
I've
maniac.
seen the hell they've gone through for being my friend. I understand it, man. I was like my friend Lost and Anthony, bro. My friend Dar. I remember we back when you guys are favored to beat us, Phil, and we put up 63. They left me at the bar by myself. So
Word.
so I mean, listen, I've seen it all, man. So I mean, it's football, listen, college football, everything regresses to the mean. Eventually, I can't go. I know I'm not gonna go my whole life without Michigan eventually getting to some type of national championship. It just so happened to be at a time right now where I don't want it to happen. So, hey, man, it is what it is.
Hey, dude, Garrison, I woke up today and I had to check my phone to make sure that I wasn't dreaming yesterday watching Michigan actually win a playoff game.
My Twitter wouldn't let me. My Twitter didn't let me do that, bro. My Twitter was so blown up. It didn't even matter, bro.
I wanted to. I was gonna pull out. Garrison. I went back through a conversation we was having on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I was gonna pull out some receipts on you, man. But I was like, you know what? I know Garrison is, and he down bad right now. I'm not gonna do this to them.
Dude, Phil, you know how many Michigan fans I've had in my mentions, bro? Like,
bro. Well, the thing is, bro. So I had this in the tuck.
Yeah.
So now did I purposely send my boy this text as like a just in case, like to cover my ass? Maybe so.
Right.
But I texted. But I kind of felt this way. I was out one day with some friends, and in a drunken stupor, it hit me. It was the Ohio State Missouri game.
Yeah.
And watching our defense against Missouri, I realized I was like, you know what? Michigan's gonna beat them. They're gonna beat them. I said, I think the Big Ten defenses are actually just that damn good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and I don't believe in Jalen Milroe. Somewhere Bill O'Brien is laughing his ass off.
Yo.
But,
hey, no, real quick, Milroe. I think Milroe next year.
Bro.
I think Milroe next year is going to be insanely good. To me, I think he wasn't ready for prime time, and he's still very young. And to me, he looked like a deer in the headlights that entire game. I think you give him again next year. I think he's going to be a legit Heisman candidate. I think Milroe's really good. I just think this was not it. This was not the time. This was not the matchup for Milroe.
No
maybe
doubt,
so.
Man. Have I missed the group conversation on OSU catapult NCAA investigation?
Man, both of y'all cheating.
Bro, wait, Ryan. I'm a Buckeye. You see, I'm not one of these holier than thou Michigan fans who think my program does nothing wrong. I know we are a dirtbag program.
Hey, you know what?
I know we are.
Garrison, the thing is, Notre Dame doesn't cheat like y'all. We're just good. We're good Catholic kids.
I have so many Catholic jokes.
First of all, you're right. You don't cheat. In fact, you help the other team win. With your non-counting selves.
You guys put 10 players on the field and you drop interceptions. You guys do all that good stuff.
Milroe can't throw. Hey, Mello number 7 says Milroe can't throw.
No, Milroe got an arm, bro. His accuracy is just buns, bro. That's what it is.
No, but I'll tell you what.
Doesn't that mean
If
you can't
JJ
throw?
had his downfield accuracy,
No, Milrow is like Joe Milton.
Well,
He's Joe Milton 2.0, but except
I'd rather have. I'd rather have. No, I'd rather have Milrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
What were you about to say, brother?
I almost said it. I almost said it.
Do not say that because everyone here would say you don't know ball.
Man.
See, the thing is, Joe Milton has never improved. Milrow is still in his second year of college football, so he can improve at least.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, look, being honest,
is he
Milrow
coming back to
improved from,
college?
like week 2?
Who?
He's got to, right? He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, no, actually, I think he's a
wait,
redshirt
I thought you were talking
freshman.
about Joe Milton. Sorry.
No,
Oh,
Milrow's a redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for all these what I'm learning from this Washington Michigan championship is I'm just ready for all these 5th year, 6th year COVID seniors to leave. I'm ready for you guys to stop benefiting from it. I'm just ready for everyone to leave. Just go graduate.
mean?
You know what's gonna piss me off, Garrison, is in like 5 years, the NCAA decides to come in and be like, you know what? We're gonna vacate Michigan's wins. And Michigan's hold on. What's gonna suck worse about it is Michigan can win the Natty, but they're still gonna they're gonna claim that. And then NCAA 5 years from now is gonna be like, they did wrongdoing. We're gonna take their wins, we're gonna take their trophy.
And they won't care.
And they won't care.
They won't care.
Of course not. What are you talking about? But anyway, Adunze versus Will gonna be epic. What do you guys think about that matchup? Is that something that decides the game?
Does Michigan play because they're not gonna play man, they're gonna play zone, I'd imagine, against Washington. So you're probably gonna have to double Odunze and then just hope that Polk and McMillan don't.
Odunze.
Yeah,
We're
dude,
not
Odunze
doubling
goes nuts.
anyone with number 2 on the field. If number 2 is on him, that is the double. The double is the 2 on his jersey.
Wait. The same way when he doubled Marvin, gave up 83 yards and tackled him while he got a touch, like caught it. That double too.
Well, I mean, first of all, let me say with clarity, nobody's gonna hold Marvin to 0 yards. All right, nobody. I didn't go in thinking
Ben Morrison held him to 12.
Bro, chill with chill, bro. Chill. But and also Will wasn't 100% healthy. Will was healthy last night. You saw what happened.
Who was he going? Was he on Burton?
He was on Burton.
Yeah,
Burton, bro. But I know. Well, you guys were playing 10 yards off, and when he ran that route, I said, if you think that's gonna make Will Johnson get off and backing up, you're crazy, bro. Like,
right.
You gotta give Will Johnson a better look than that, or just be a better athlete. He's not a better athlete than Will Johnson.
bro. The thing that bugged me is that Milrow never targeted Isaiah Bond all game, and I, in my opinion, Bond is their best receiver because Burton is just like, I think he's a senior. He's just like one of those guys.
He should be in the slot.
Yeah,
that's what he should be.
But let's be real here. Like, Bama's receiving core this year is nowhere near what it used to be. Like,
no,
when they had Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jamison Williams all on one team, like that was insane. But like, Burton and Bond are not that good.
No, so like, to answer your question, Phil, like how I feel about it, I think it's kind of like what you guys went against in 2021, in 2022. You know,
yep.
In terms of CJ and that, what I'm interested in seeing is because you guys have had in the 2 times you guys have played really good passing teams, you've been vulnerable in Maryland and Ohio State. What I'm interested in seeing right now is this isn't Tua or Latalia, and this isn't the guy down in Syracuse, New York.
Yeah.
You know, this is Michael Penix and three of the top 10 receivers in the nation.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested, and they have a good O-line, so I'm really interested to see how that develops. I'm also interested to see if Dylan Johnson plays because he is the equalizer at running back. I think the keep you guys. They would keep you honest.
Wasn't he carted off? I'm not sure that looks good, man. He just
Yeah,
got a
but
week.
they're waiting to see. They're waiting to see the diagnostics right now. They haven't said anything yet.
According to what I saw, it was the same injury he suffered earlier in the season.
Yep.
We got a super chat. One check. My guy Trepa says, one good hit on Penix and game over. Well,
so y'all doing Bounty Gate now. Come on, man.
Damn,
Don't be
that's
doing
crazy. That's what y'all need?
bro.
No, they got Connor Stallions. This Connor Stallions Gate, and now they got Bounty Gate over there in Michigan.
Did you see he was at the game?
Bro, no, he wasn't.
You're lying.
Bro.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Phil.
Nah, bro.
I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yo, what if he was giving signs to Michigan that game?
Hey, it's what it is, man. Shout out to Connor.
I can't believe you guys didn't see this.
Oh no, I gotta see this shit. That's fucking funny.
Hey, my guy Will says Odunze greater than MHJ.
Yeah, I think Odunze is the best.
Okay, and OJ Simpson didn't do it.
No, hold on. Hold on a minute. So Garrison, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best receiver in college football. No doubt, right? But I think Odunze had a better season this year than Marvin Harrison. I think he was a better receiver this year.
Of course he did. Because look, all right. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say C.J. Stroud is happened to come back to college football this past season. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think has a better season?
Marvin, but I'm also saying I understand that's why I'm saying I think Odunze is the better receiver this year.
He's not the better receiver. He just had a more productive season. There's a difference.
Yeah, I do think it was insane though. His 2 games against Oregon were just insane.
I think
Phil, I just DM'd it to you, Phil, on your altitude
right,
Twitter.
Hold on, yo.
You're not gonna believe
This is crazy, man.
All right, I'll send it to you too. Hold up.
Yeah, I gotta see this. Was he wearing sunglasses?
No, bro, but you clearly see he's there.
Yo, hold on, bro.
Wait, who let Connor Stallions go to this game, bruh?
Come on, man.
What if we find out in 5 years that's how Michigan won?
He just had to have some sort of doubt placed on the game.
Ryan, I just sent it to you on Twitter, man. I just sent it
to you. Bro, that's fucking great.
It's hilarious. But hey,
Melo disagrees with you,
Phil.
Willie. Stop MXG jersey on room. Get him TV time, brand recognition. Everyone is saying this. Damn it, man.
Hey, man. Hey, it's the biggest brand in college football, baby. What can I say?
Oh, you talking the other state?
Well,
hey, that thing right there. You see that? Yeah, you see it.
Oh my God, it's disgusting, man. It's
Notre Dame's world famous.
Feng shui in your room.
Speaking of this, Ryan, I want to say this
is why you got bad energy.
You said what, Phil?
I said it's throwing off the feng shui in your room.
No, Phil's gonna hate me for this. But Ryan, I posted this, I think last week. This was post. I forget who posted this, but it said what's your most insane college football and take whatever. And I put Notre Dame is the best job in college football.
It is
crazy.
It is.
I've been saying it for years on.
Dude, no, hold on.
No. Y'all gotta explain this.
So Garrison,
Phil, I start with this, Phil.
All right.
They don't need to report how much you're getting paid. And you get paid a lot.
Well, I'll say this: Marcus Freeman isn't even in the top 65 and highest paid head coaches.
He don't deserve it yet. He's working his way up the ladder right now.
Well, they got to make sure he can count first. They don't want.
Holy shit!
He has no problem counting past 10 anyway.
Hey, Phil, put that joke in the back pocket, bro. Say that.
No. Phil, I blame Ohio State education for that. That's not on Marcus Freeman. That's on Ohio State.
Oh snap,
He about to get
bro.
this work. Hold up. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work.
Oh man. That's crazy. Either way, he does like that was egregious, bro. Two straight plays. Even if you missed it the first time, you
Yeah.
had another
Y'all let Cal
opportunity.
McCord have a game-winning drive on y'all. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy is that if the
Don't do
dude
Kyle
that we,
McCord. You don't do Kyle McCord like that. You were Kyle McCord's biggest
I
fan.
was his saving grace.
Right.
you know what's even crazier though, Phil, is if Ohio State barely got that touchdown, even with us having 10 guys on the field. If we had that 11th guy, we definitely stuffed that. But shit, it is what it is. On to next year. We're going to be in the playoff. We'll catch both of y'all, hopefully, in the playoff next year.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
Hey, Phil, can you put that one back, that chat back up? What I saw about what Woodson said?
Hold on.
Charles Woodson on Rich.
All right, listen.
Well, Tom Brady cheated, bro.
I have a list of Michigan players I refuse to speak badly about.
Okay.
And Chuck is number one.
He as he should be.
And I love his wine, Intercept wine. Everyone, you should go buy it. They have a great cab.
All right.
So I'm gonna refrain from saying anything about that chat.
Hey, Desmond Howard, his name's not on that list, is it?
Hell no. Bro, listen, if I ever saw Desmond Howard in public,
disrespecting Des, man.
if I saw Desmond Howard in public, I'll spit the ground he stands on.
Bro, no, you know what's crazy? If I hear Desmond Howard say "choke a bitch" on College Game Day one more time, I'm gonna fucking lose it, bro. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Dez is a legend. That only a legend could get away with that.
And he's so biased.
And he loves big penis energy.
Oh my god.
So Phil, what was the first
Ibuka's
thing?
Coming back.
Phil, what was your first initial reaction when you saw the end of the game?
Last night?
Yes.
Oh, bro, I think I blacked out for a second. I was like out of my body for a minute. It was my voice was already gone, but like I destroyed it last night. I'm sure my neighbors hate me. But it's all good. Yeah. But my initial thought, I didn't even have thoughts for a while, but I was like, finally, right? Was like the first one, almost like The Rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, man. It was elation and exalting, a lot of exalting. But it was good. And then I ran down here so I could, laugh and make my video last night. That video last night was just pure emotion. I was actually like dying physically.
I saw.
Hey, so Phil, it's my turn now, right? Like my turn for my team to actually do some shit.
No.
Like, yeah, next year.
Bro.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna let you know this right now. You guys are like Michigan without talent.
What? We recruit better than Michigan. What are you talking about?
You don't develop better than them though, and talent has to be developed.
Close.
Riley Leonard's better than JJ McCarthy when healthy.
You said who is?
What?
Riley Leonard.
That's debatable,
bro.
I need to see. I need to see more. I need to see more.
No, hey, bro. Riley Leonard was a top 3 quarterback in the draft as a prospect until he got hurt.
I need to see more from Riley Leonard, but until further notice, JJ gets the nod.
I know, but dude, Mike, you don't think Mike Denbrock can turn Riley Leonard into a Heisman finalist? Because I think so.
You think Mike Denbrock is what?
I think, bro, what do you want to say or not about like LSU? Mike Denbrock was the reason that LSU offense was as explosive as it was. And Jaden Daniels was people forget this because like people will be like, oh well, they had Jaden Daniels. You know what Jaden Daniels was the year before he came to LSU? 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's not very good.
Yeah.
On 2 seasons under Mike Denbrock, and he turned him into a Heisman Trophy winner. So,
The chat wants you to take your meds.
dude, there was somebody in the chat that said Notre Dame won't even be top 25. Name me the last time Notre Dame didn't finish in the top 25 in your lifetime.
Yo,
would
hold
be
on. We
amazing.
got a super chat from my guy Dom. Notre Dame is holding out for the 40th anniversary of the 1988
Bruh,
national championship.
don't be doing that.
While we're here on the Notre Dame subject, not because I am allowed to do this, Ryan, and I apologize, my guy. I got love for you. Notre Dame has not beaten the Ohio State football program since 1948. At that
Y'all don't play us every year.
At that moment in time, Lou Holtz was 1 year old.
Wow.
Hey, and Ryan Day is still looking for Lou Holtz, bro.
Hey, let Lou Holtz know when Ryan Day finds him, it's on site.
We don't care if he's old. Hey, the memes for Ryan Day saying,
Nah.
I want to know where Kyle McCord is right now.
No, you know what? What's gonna happen when when Ryan Day finds Lou Holtz is that meme where the guy's like, call an ambulance, but not for me.
Speaking of, bro, like of Kyle McCord, bro, like I like watching that Missouri game. Like Ryan, if you want to see me completely unhinged, watch the Scarlet and Blue Show episode and just watch me. Just watch me and listen. It's the most embarrassing episode that we have, and mostly because of me. But I was on it, dude. God damn! I wish we had Kyle McCord.
Garrison, Garrison, why are people saying in the chat that we're not more talented than Ohio State and Michigan when we recruit better than Michigan? We should have beat y'all this year.
All right, listen.
Well, you're not.
Because all right, so like I always have to tell Bryce this, so I have to be consistent with this. Recruiting matters, and it's the backbone of college football. But recruiting rankings go out the window 2 years into college for players. For me, at that point, you should be more developed, or you either get developed, stay stagnant, or become less of a player. I think Michigan right now develops players
better than everyone,
than most teams not named.
Well, their head coach has also been there for what, 10 years?
8 years.
Yeah, so, I mean, my thing is Freeman.
That's fair.
Freeman's been here for 3 years, and he's had to. You know how many BK kids he's had to like kick out of the program or go send somewhere else because they're not good enough for him.
I'll say this.
No,
I think his program is. I think your program is in the same place Michigan was when Jim Harbaugh first got there.
No,
at Michigan.
No. Stop.
You don't think so?
No, Michigan was in a way worse situation when
I don't think so. Oh, whoa. Look at the talent on that team when Jim Harbaugh got there. That is not true. Everyone wants to sit here and shit on Brady Hoke. Look at his recruiting classes. The problem with Brady Hoke is that he thought it was okay to coach without a headset.
Well, I mean, Garrison, you could say the same thing about BK when he took over Notre Dame. Notre Dame had Michael Floyd, Jimmy Clausen, like all those guys when he took over.
Yeah,
that was a
BK. The roster aside, it's about the culture that was there. The culture that Jim took over was way worse than the culture.
Yeah,
that
Marcus Freeman took over.
Okay, yeah. 1 second. And Phil, give me this moment. As a West Michigander from Grand Rapids, Michigan, when you say his name, you say his name. His name is not BK. His name is Coach Kelly, Coach Brian Kelly, the greatest Division II coach of all time.
No, he doesn't. No.
Who established the greatest Division II program in Grand Valley State here in Allendale, Michigan of all time.
Oh,
you give him his proper respect.
But Garrison, my point is that Michigan was definitely in a weird situation. Like,
I think it's the same situation.
I still think BK, like people like when people said like, "Hey, Marcus Freeman took over a winning program, right?" Yeah, with a bunch of 3 stars, and a lot of those kids that Well, right. So Marcus Freeman got a great job, right?
Yes.
But look what he had at quarterback: Tyler Buckner, Drew
I thought
Pine.
Tyler Buckner was one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude. No, those guys. That's why he's playing lacrosse at Notre Dame now, and not football.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Like, you don't think Freeman? That's bro. Every kid that leaves our program was a BK recruit. If you look in the portal, because these kids aren't good enough to play at Notre Dame.
Understandable.
I can see all the way back to when the last time OSU beat Michigan.
Like, when's the last?
Hey,
Like,
I
I
seriously,
can't. I hate that.
This
I
is
Will
the-
Bloodworth is my.
I
It's
hate
hilarious,
life right
bro.
now, Phil.
Like, this is my-
I know you do. I know you do.
this
3
is my
straight
last point, and
years?
then we're gonna let Phil talk, but because this
Yeah,
is
I'm
his
done.
day. But when's the last time you guys have seen Notre Dame get quarterbacks the caliber of CJ Carr and Deuce Knight back to back?
Ask that again.
When's the last time you've ever heard Notre Dame get 2 5-star quarterbacks the caliber of CJ Carr and Deuce Knight back to back classes?
I can't.
Because I never have.
I know. You guys haven't had a quarterback since 2005.
Brady Quinn
You're
was the
still
last
not
good
trying to let
quarterback.
him play. You're still out here. You're still out here in the transfer portal, getting
Well,
quarterbacks
hey,
every
Freeman
year.
said it's the last year that we're doing that, and then it'll be
Oh,
CJ
is that
Carr's
what he
team.
said?
Yeah.
I see.
Hey, where's CJ Carr from, Ryan?
Michigan,
Who's his
son of
granddaddy?
Lloyd
Hey
Carr.
yo,
Oh, that's
son.
crazy, ain't it?
Hey son, we already had this conversation. CJ
All right,
is
hey,
not
but Phil,
welcome
it's your
back.
day, Phil. It's your day, Phil.
CJ's not welcome back home. All right. He damn sure can't step foot in the big house.
What if he wants to transfer to Michigan in a couple of years?
No. You burn that
Phil,
bridge.
who's your game ball go to?
Oh, this is a good one. Game ball.
Justin,
Man.
don't ask me questions like that. Please don't.
No, we need that. While I ponder who my game ball goes to, let me let that one marinate for a second.
You're a piece of
Game ball. I gotta get a game ball to the entire defensive line. If I'm being real, I think they did an excellent job, especially setting the tone early. And man, yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Michigan defensive line. Who you give it to? Corum is too easy. I feel like that's too easy.
I was
Although
gonna
he
say
probably
Antoine,
does
I was gonna
deserve it.
say Antoine's answer, I like it, but it's too easy for me. I'm gonna give it to the person who I think made the play of the game, and that's Graham. He was a hoss in the middle all game.
Mhm.
And then when it came down, because you guys had 5 sacks in the first half by 5 different players, very impressive.
Yep.
But then you guys, I mean, the third quarter, you guys got dominated, and the game went kind of stagnant.
We did.
And then when it came down to it, bro, and you know what's funny? But I was talking to my boy Lawson, and he's a huge Michigan fan. We were talking about how when we both saw him slide or get tackled at the 9-yard line, Milrow.
Yeah.
I right then and there said this game is over.
Right.
I said there's no way they're getting. I said he should have stopped at the 11 because there's no way they're getting 9 yards and 4 downs in this defense.
Yeah.
But in that, Graham made the biggest play of the game to me because I think that they got that play to that play the 4-yard line, but I mean at the pass.
Mm-hmm.
But that took them essentially out. That took them essentially out of the game to me. I thought the game was won as soon as Graham got that sack, so he's my player of the game.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I think Josiah Stewart, even though he really didn't have like the numbers to back it up, he was really a force on the edge there too. But Graham was definitely more impactful, and that sack was timely to say the least.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that. Ryan, who would you give it to?
Really quick before I get into that, we got some breaking news. Clemson's losing everybody to the portal. Everybody and their mama's their top 2 receivers are in the portal, and it's rumored that Will Shipley and Phil Maffa are going to transfer.
Interesting.
I've been waiting for this moment my whole life for the downfall of Dabo Swinney. And I'm a God-fearing man, but my goodness, I've been
Dude,
waiting
it's
for that.
crazy.
I've been waiting for him to just face plant and that because I'm waiting for the 30 for 30 to come out when they find out that program is cheating. But that's
Dude,
my
have you ever seen a program fall from grace like that to where they were calling Clemson
This
at one
this
point the
comment
next?
right here, absolutely.
Yes, he meant to. That people were saying Clemson was the next Bama dynasty in college football, and now you fall from that to back like 8-4, 9-3
Hey,
seasons.
you can thank us boys in Columbus. We broke them. You can thank us.
Stop it.
You can thank
But
us, man.
but
Shout
if
out
I
to
had to
COVID.
get no, hey, no, I think Notre Dame gets that credit because we blew their ass out twice in a row.
Want to
But
be money too.
but anyway, if I had to give a game ball to, I'd have to give the game ball to uh either Blake Corum or Roman Wilson. Um, obviously those are like the two obvious choices, but I think the fact that Blake and Roman Wilson, they both made key plays at the most critical times in that game.
Yeah.
If you don't, I think if you take away either one of the two, if you take away Roman Wilson, Michigan doesn't win that game. If you take away Blake Corum, they don't win that game. I think both of those guys were very key to your guys' win last night, and I think without those guys, you guys wouldn't be where you are. But yeah, I gotta give it to Blake and Roman, especially with Blake coming back from that injury he had last year. Took him a little bit of time to kind of get back to where he used to be. But yeah,
Hey,
that's
bro,
why I
wrap
give the
this
game
up
ball
so I
to.
can thank this lady.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I'm joking, by the way.
No, you're good.
We got it. But thank you very much. And I'm glad you could catch the show live. We don't go live very often on the channel, but when we do, usually there's a Buckeye Garrison and Orion here to.
Oh,
Justin Whiskey didn't help it suck.
Bro, I had Michigan. I had my boys in Michigan. I had him buy. He was buying me shots to help me out, bro. It was
this right here. Or you talking about watching the game, watching our game or your game?
my game. I was watching with some Michigan fans.
Yeah. This right here. I think the thing they need to let the young bulls go. Tyler Morris needs to be involved in the offense more. Even though Samaj Morgan had the horrible muff that led to that first touchdown, and he missed that pass. But let's be real, he was like 10 feet away from JJ, who threw it 1,000 miles per hour.
Phil, thank you. I tried to tell Bryce that. Thank you.
Actually, you know about that muff, Phil?
Yeah.
I'm not like when I watched that, I didn't really blame him because if you watch that punt, the punter did that. No, hold on.
That ball.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that punter punted the ball that way purposely for a muff because he kicked it. I can't even remember what they're called, but it was just like an absolute doinker of a punt that was just like the way he kicked it. He was looking for a muff because if he doesn't come up and get that
in the freshman,
and if he doesn't come up and get that, that probably your Michigan's probably pinned at like 10, maybe 5-yard line because it was gonna roll.
Isn't that better than giving them the ball?
No, I understand, but I'm giving the kid a break. He's a freshman. Like I'm not trying to.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No one's piling on. I'm not piling on. I'm just saying, no, that was a mistake. Either way,
for sure.
I'm on Phil's side on this because here's my thing. I remember when Chris Olave was a freshman, his breakout game was the game. So you can come in as a freshman and make impact, but you have to have your head. You have to have a clear head, and I think Samaj Morgan has so much talent.
Yeah,
so much talent, and his interviews are top tier. But he just gotta,
his interviews are absolutely top tier.
Yeah.
So another question.
Yeah.
Was it the first play of the game? Let's say when JJ
that was definitely a pick, by the way.
JJ threw
okay.
First thought.
fuck, bro? Like, I couldn't believe it. First of all, I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, just throw it out of bounds, man. JJ always trying to make a play. He always trying to make a play, man. Just throw that thing out of bounds.
Isn't that the
Let's
shit that
live to
Harbaugh
fight
gets
another
on him
down.
for all the time? Is doing
Huh?
that dumb shit? Like, isn't that like what Harbaugh gets on him a lot about? Is doing that shit? Like when it's not there, not throwing the ball away.
Well, Harbaugh is like the biggest JJ supporter on planet Earth. Like JJ
No
can do
cap.
no wrong in Jim's eyes. And by the way, I'm not trying to, because JJ is my quarterback. He's my guy. I like JJ a whole bunch. But dog, that was crazy. Just throw that thing way over their heads and let's move on to second down, man. That was first down. He came out first down. It was like, I gotta do something.
I gotta score a touchdown right here.
Dude,
Right.
Bryce and I disagreed on this on our show today, but
Yeah.
I told him, I said, like, because I was listening, I love Johnny Olden's show,
Yeah, King of
and
the
I was
North.
listening to him, and I agree with him. I said, I think if that was a pick, boy,
Yeah, I saw
I think
that.
that hits JJ's head.
You think JJ, you think it affects him for the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's not to say that he couldn't come out of it, because clearly he did against TCU. Clearly he did.
Yeah.
But
Well, the TCU game wasn't his fault. That first drive, I don't know whose idea it was to be like, we're gonna call the Philly special here. And
Yeah, that was play calling. I agree with that. Look, so Justin, he was open.
He
Initially,
was.
there was a window where he was open. I feel like this, and man, I hate to like say negative things about JJ a day after we just won the Rose Bowl, but there have been plays throughout the season where even there was a play in this game where he did complete it. He completed a pass. It was a crossing route, but the deep crosser was wide open, right? It was a 2-level crosser, and the deep one was wide open, and he
That was a
completed it
touchdown,
to the
Phil.
short one.
that was a touchdown.
And but he's had plays like that all season. You know what I mean? He misses like some why, bro? Okay, I'm gonna go back to this. The game against you guys last year in Columbus. The play, he throws it to Cornelius, off, the off balance throw that Cornelius really turns into a touchdown, right? The catch and run.
I give JJ a lot of credit on that play.
No, he definitely gets credit for that. Don't get me wrong. That was a very athletic play, and he was being rushed. I get it. But the point is, right from the start, because it was kind of a zero blitz, right? It was a zero.
Yeah.
And right from the start, there's nobody on Roman Wilson. Like nobody. You know what I mean? It wouldn't even have been a play that CJ had to make to score the touchdown because Roman was by himself right from the go. So it's just those types of things that I think he misses sometimes, that if he had that, he'd be a world better than he is now.
Also, how long do you think you guys are keep on to Sherrone Moore for? That first drive you guys had, there were some plays and formations I saw. Yeah. When I leaned back and I was like, all right, Sherrone. All right. Yeah. All right.
Oh, you said no, I thought you said the first drive, because the first drive I was not impressed.
No, I'm sorry, not the first drive. I mean the drives that throughout the first half, there were formations.
Yes.
And play calls that he made.
Oh, he showed his complete ass in this game. I will give you that. Now he did make
want Sherrone Moore? Do you still want him to take over for Harbaugh after that?
Absolutely.
I think if Harbaugh leaves, it's his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if DK says, "Hey, I'll leave LSU right now to come to Michigan,"
bro, I've already told you that that's not an option. Under any circumstance.
And I'll say this, bro. If you look at the Big Ten right now, bro, the ages of the Big Ten coaches, there's a lot of young coaches in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You need to go. Even Ryan Day's 44.
Right? Okay, he's 44. So, but yeah.
It's just my thing with that first drive. It's like, I was sitting there like talking to Connor about it when we were watching. I'm like, Michigan's bread and butter is running the ball. Why are you coming out and passing the ball
Well, I think he
3,
did
4
that
straight
because
times.
the bread and butter is running the football. I think he was trying to catch them off guard, but it didn't work. But I agree with you, Garrison. There was a play particularly. I think we scored a touchdown on it. The first touchdown pass to Blake Corum. It was so wide open because like he had like and it was all the eye candy stuff, before the plays too.
Yeah.
And the whole offense looked like the play looked like it was going to the right side, but Blake and CJ were by themselves on the left side of the field for that touchdown. That was beautiful. But I think he did a lot of great things last night. Maybe like one or two that I wish he wouldn't have called. The flea flicker, I wish he wouldn't have called that. Even the pass back was risky.
Yo, when that ball's in the air, I said, if someone's covered, this is an interception. And then Roman's wide open. I mean, booty's butt open.
Yeah.
But my favorite play though, like my favorite offensive play of the game was on that 4th and 2, bro. Because first off, big balls by Harbaugh.
Yep.
But based off where they were, I'm saying way too many good things about you guys right now. But on that.
By the way, we're gonna get to this right here, and I'm glad you're here, Garrison, for this. But go ahead.
But on that, like you were talking about, like the eye candy, because they moved one receiver to the right side, so you had you had 2 wide receivers and a tight end. I think Levin was over there. Then Core moved to the right on that 4th and 2.
Yep.
And they ran 1 go, 2 crossers, and I think it might have been Downs. I think it was Downs on that play.
Yep.
And he had to go with someone. And I loved it because throughout the year, Donovan has always been the receiving running back. It's never Blake, because Blake's not much of a receiving threat.
I was just saying that to Ryan before you came on.
But like when he got old, I said, man, they showed it again. I said, whoever
it was so
that.
beautiful. Let me tell you why it was even more beautiful than you're explaining it. Because if Blake stays on the left side of JJ, and they do that same action without him, moving over to the right, that change that they did that and saw that it was going to be some man, and it changed the linebacker who was going to go with Blake. Right? So if he's on the left side, that linebacker can get over there, absolutely, right, and blow that thing up. But when he switched to the right side, that linebacker, now his assignment was different, and it, somebody else had to pick him up, and they completely blew it. But yeah, and you can see by the way he moved when Blake moved. But absolutely, I support Brian Kelly and Tommy Reese to Michigan for 2024. Great options for Wolverine, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tommy Reese would definitely not sell for you guys.
I haven't seen you since I've seen the hate you've been spewing about Ohio State all year. I haven't really heard from you though.
If you're ever in Grandview, check out DK Diner. Great breakfast place, homemade cinnamon rolls.
I'll do that. In Grandview, DK Diner, bet.
Michigan had me dying in the middle. That 1 yard return had me dying in the middle. 1 yard return. I don't know. I need more information. Okay, but let's get to this right here, because this man right here, Garrison, and Sean were tag teaming me on Twitter earlier or last week before the game. I said on a live, it may have been a live, maybe it was a pre-record I did, but I talked about how in the video I talked about how in my opinion, Jim Harbaugh is the best coach in college football today, right? I gave Nick his flowers. I said Nick is the absolute GOAT. I even gave him his flowers on this season. I said he did a great job coaching this season, right? From where they started to where they had ended up. But Jim Harbaugh, for my money, is the best coach this season. I gave reasons as to why he was the best in my opinion. These guys act like I shot the president, fam. They act like I had knocked over their grandmother. I had stepped on their 2-year-old. It was crazy. He said it was the most asinine comment he'd ever heard. It was a bunch of words he was out here throwing around, sounding like Stephen A. Smith on Twitter
You gave me great interaction with it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But again, I stand, and I told him then, I was like, I stand 10 toes in this statement. I believe it. And I think Jim Harbaugh proved me right last night. Shout out to Jim for making me look good. Definitely outcoached the GOAT last night.
Okay. Now, what you're saying and what you said prior to are two completely different things.
All right.
You can be out-coached and still not be – I mean, you can out-coach someone and still not be the better coach today. That day – I'll give you an example. Our game, right?
Right.
Thank you, Sean. Like, our game. I think I told Bryce –
Facts. And
I don't necessarily think you guys were a better team than us. I think what happened that day happened. 2 turnovers. We're on the road. We lost by 6 points. It is what it is.
Right.
Yes. Jim Harbaugh, and more importantly, his staff outcoached Nick Saban's. I don't think that means this season you are a better coach. He's a better coach for the simple fact that if I look from where Alabama was in the beginning of the season to where they are now, awesome coaching job. Because the truth of the matter is this: we're talking. This is This is Jim Harbaugh's greatest team ever, arguably the second greatest team in Michigan history. Correct? And it might. After
definitely in modern history. Yeah.
And after next Monday, it might be the best Michigan team ever.
Right. Charles actually said that too. But yeah.
This is what Nick Saban's been there since 2010. No, 9. Arguably one of his bottom
8, right? Was it
8? 2008.
Yeah.
Arguably one of his bottom 3 teams. Arguably.
Okay.
So the fact that he could take one of his bottom, because the first year was the worst year.
Right.
Second year, I think he was pretty. This might be one
second year. Second year, they almost went to the.
Yeah, this might be his second worst team.
Oh no! He
almost got to a natty.
Nah, they lost last year. You think they were better than last year?
No. So no. So like I said, bottom 3 team. It's a bottom 3 team that he's ever had.
Yeah.
And he still almost had a chance at a natty.
Right.
So that's why I say that I'm more impressed with that coaching job than Jim Harbaugh is with the senior citizens on his team.
First of all, show some respect.
Wait, did I say that? Wait, that slipped out. I'm trying to be unbiased right now.
Respectfully.
But no, he outcoached him. He did.
Congrats to the Michigan fans. Roll Tide Roll. One hell of a game. Definitely one hell of a game. Shout out to y'all, man. Congratulations on a great season. So I was telling Ryan this earlier too. There are 4 and 5 starters littered throughout that entire roster, right? And though I do give him credit for the coaching job he did, I'm speaking of Nick Saban now. He had more talent than everybody he played outside of maybe Georgia.
He had more talent than Georgia.
There we go. His team was the more talented team against everyone he played, and that includes.
But it's also
Michigan.
one of the youngest teams in college football.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not gonna argue against that. I'm not gonna argue against them being young, and that offensive line, one of the youngest too. And it showed really in this game.
Alabama's offensive line is shit, dude.
Not in run pro.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, their center couldn't fucking snap the ball all year.
He was pretty awful.
Can we all admit that is the worst center you have ever seen in your life?
Worst center play I've ever seen.
What
in the moment where it couldn't be that bad.
You cannot tell me. You cannot sell. If I'm a Bama fan, you cannot sell me on the fact that our backup center could be any worse.
Oh, I agree. And the thing is, Bud Elliott spoke about this all year. and before that game. Bud Elliott spoke about how that center has been doing that all year with those low snaps. And I asked him, Kirk Herbie, I love you. What do you mean that's on Jalen Milroe to be an athlete and get the ball?
Bro,
no.
I tweeted that immediately. That sounded like the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
No, Phil, that's where I got it from. Credit to you, Phil. That's where I got that thought process from. I saw you tweet that. And I completely agree with you on that.
That's asinine, bro. What? You got to be a better athlete, and he's a great athlete. It's his fault too. What do you mean? So you're saying if it was, I don't know, some non-athlete back there, that then it would be only the center's fault,
bro.
That would be like
if there was a pocket quarterback back there, he'd be screwed.
Right. No, that's like the Michigan fans bitching at JJ last night when the flea flicker, he fumbled the flea flicker and decided to hop on it instead of picking it up.
Wait,
no, he did the smart.
Yeah, there were people on Twitter that were pissed off, like, JJ, what are you doing, bro? You could have picked that up.
No,
I mean, he probably could have, but he did the best thing, and that's just the hop on the football.
And it's like when that happens, when you fumble the snap, Phil, when you stumble the snap, Phil, where does your eyes immediately go? To the football.
To the football, right?
Exactly.
The talent is on paper. It's better, not on film. These players didn't look like 5 and 4 stars.
No, they didn't look. You know what? No, they didn't look like that because here's the truth of the matter: there is nothing that Michigan team has not seen.
Yeah,
nothing. And if you're that Michigan offense playing Jesse Minter's defense every week in practice, you are going against an NFL style type of defense, which is a more complicated type of defense than anything you're going to see in college football. So So
by the way, I think we lose. Jesse Minter is somebody that we are in danger of losing for sure.
Man, hey, I'm gonna tell you what, John Harbaugh is the greatest stimulus package of all time.
Absolutely.
The greatest COVID stimulus package, bro.
Yeah, he is, bro. John Harbaugh.
How much is that Jim Harbaugh contract worth? How much was it again?
Like 125.
That's a 125 million stimulus package. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah. Because he definitely helped. That Mike McDonald gift he gave us a couple years ago, 2021. That was a gift. He got him right back though. He said, "Nah, we need him." Actually,
did you watch the Herd today?
I did not watch it today. I usually do, but I didn't.
So, Joe Klatt was on there talking about that whole situation about what in the COVID year,
right? And
honestly, if any Michigan fan didn't see that today, it's really cool. It's actually a really cool story. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but so Jim called his brother,
right?
Called John, and the basic point of the conversation was, I have to beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
and John said, okay, well, I got 2 guys. He says, okay, well, like, what's going on? He says, we can only have one. Because the other guy, whoever the other guy is going to take the Vanderbilt job.
Okay.
And so he picked what I'm going to be honest with you now. Now we know it don't matter who he picked. They're both going to do great.
Yeah.
But he got Mike McDonald, and then, 1 year. And then next, Jesse went to the position. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, man. I thought that was really cool. And I'm guessing right now in the Harbaugh household, it's fireworks.
Oh, absolutely. Because Baltimore is on fire, by the way. Michigan looks like, well, they're the favorite to win next Monday. Baltimore is probably the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl right now.
They are.
Yeah. So I'm sure that house is definitely on fire. Look, man, we got to get out of here. We've been on for forever now. I appreciate both of you coming through. We'll do this again to everybody in the chat. I'll do this in the future and put the link in the chat for anybody to show up if you want. Don't be afraid. It's all good. I take it easy on Garrison and Ryan.
Even I showed up, everybody.
Exactly.
The Buckeye fan, the lowly
What do you
Buckeye
mean?
fan.
I feel like it's worse as a Notre Dame fan having to watch this blasphemy because
No, it's
It's
not.
definitely
No,
not
no, no,
worse
no, no.
than the Ohio State.
No, hold on. You don't understand, Garrison. The one thing we used to say to Michigan fans when they would say, "Oh, y'all haven't won nothing since '88," was at least we made the playoff twice.
Bro.
Now
Now,
you don't have
I
that.
get that,
now
but you how what I say on Twitter, I say some.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm a very violent person.
This Alabama team was loaded with talent based on media influence, and on paper, we saw nobody that would make Alabama championship teams on offense. Top guns on defense. I mean, I don't know, man. They had talent. They got talent on the team for sure.
I will say this: Alabama's running backs were averaging 6.2 and 7.8.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kid Justice Haynes.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. Problem. But again, man, thank you guys for coming, man.
Sure,
Joining
Phil.
me here. Next time we'll do it again. After next week. Till next time, though, stay angry, my friends.